Hello everyone, welcome back to more Halloween time. Today we're going to be delving into a visual novel called Silenced: The House. Originally I wasn't planning on doing any visual novels, just, whatever game I could find, like a more interactive game. But a lot of my games I've kind of realized are not really working that well with my computer. In other words, my computer is shit. And there's unfortunately not much I can do unless I have $2,000 to drop for a brand new gaming computer, which unfortunately I do not have. But anyway, Silence the House. It looked like a really spooky game. It had a really good art covers, really good drawings, and really had a creepy vibe. So I'm just gonna play it, see how it goes. And it's supposed to be a short game too. Like, I'm pretty sure we can finish this up in one episode. So let us begin a new game. True miracle is to see your own sins. Anthony the Great. True miracle is to see your own sins. I guess that's one way of saying it. Oh, I had to click. Duh. Alright, what do we got? Save, load, auto mode, skip, story, and settings. Settings, what do we got? Alright. Change the font. It's at medium. Alright, if we need to increase it, we can. So that's actually a pretty nice detail, actually, having the font sizes change. Alright, story. Got an Instant Brew, Grimoires, Mrs. Pommeries, and of course, Graben. Alright. It has been a while since we left New Lake Road. How close are we? I've never been to this place before, so I'm not sure how long it should take us to reach our destination. Last time, I was carried away to an old inoperative factory on the outskirts of town. Before that, I was wandering around the plantation to the villa. Once there was even an asylum in the heathlands. Aw, asylums, hell yeah. I think the factory was my favorite. Maybe I should visit again? We traveled along the narrow gray path that was buried under the leaves. It was not the wind, but some other forces that brought them here. This scene was as fake as a smile on Grace's face. Who's Grace? The leaves were arranged in such a way so that they would not cross the edges of the narrow path, obediently sparkling in the beams of our flashlights. It reminded me of a twisted version of an old German fairy tale, Hansel and Gretel, and, in this version, the naive children rushed right into the jaws of an unspeakable creature. Lloyd put his foot on one of the leaves which was found over the edge of the path, and the silence was broken by a hoarse voice. Man, it's been an hour since we entered this freaking forest! Ah, there's Grace. Whoa, Grace is hella thick. God damn! Whew! Alright, calm down, viewer. Calm down. You don't need to get too excited. Whew. Hang on, guys. We're almost there. We're not Grace, are we? We're our own person. Yeah, whatever. I've heard that before, Grace. And this is what, the third time? Who are we? I don't know which one of us is us. I don't think there's a need to go any further, guys. This forest itself gives me the creeps. Maybe we should just stay here for the night. I agree with that. Kate, why do you say we have sex in front of this pretty little stump? Just right to it. I mean, hey, why beat around the bush? Come on now. If this hook snag on it were a real noose, I bet we could stick it under your sexy topic right into your islands of pleasure. What makes you think that I would let you do anything with my body, you piece of shit? Can somebody please remind me why I'm still going out with such a pervert? I don't know. You tell me. If you had enough of this shit, you should hang out with me, babe. Oh, wow. This group of people... Wow. Nope. And what about you, Grace? Nah. I think we're Grace. I could be wrong, though. I don't know. Let's assume we're Grace for now. If not, then I could go back to her changing her voice. If you think that you're some kind of a Superman who is not afraid to accompany me into this spooky abandoned house, don't fool yourself. Your so-called chivalrous act is just a trick to get me into bed. You need to try harder to get my juicy butt. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't need to hear about your diarrhea issues, okay? So I have a chance? Sweet! What made you so friendly today? It is my birthday after all, and we are going to have a party. What do you have for brains? Shit? It is a very special day. Oh, here's a new character. God, who am I? Somebody tell me. It is a special indeed. Today, Grace holds the stage, but her acting is still not good enough for an Oscar. It is bad, but everyone seemed to fall for her optimism. Okay, so I don't think we are Grace, depending on the way the dialogue went. Okay, so I'll give her a new voice. Oh, I almost forgot that you're with us. Come on, I have plans for you. Oh, so you are into girls. Oh shit, I forgot his accent. My shitty accent, my apologies. What a twist! Looks like you're dead in the water now, Lloyd. You are surely a cutie, Ashley, in this panda hood, but it is still not enough for a girl to win my heart, yet again. The end of her phrase was said very quietly, but I heard it. I smiled wryly. Looks like all of us have a skeleton in the closet, but what if the closet is the size of a house? Damn, you got a lot of skeletons. What have you been doing? Murdering people? That's rude. The silly idea came to my mind when I saw this colossal house. I felt like something was missing. The house seemed to be flickering on the crossroads of reality and imagination, in the land of a future unseen. Its secrets were hidden in darkness, just like the forest. The weak yellow lights were jumping from one tree to another, running along the path and flickering in the night. I knew that we would soon approach the house, but maybe it's not too late to turn back and forget about all this shit. Maybe, just maybe, I've had enough of this. So I asked myself, do you wish to save them, Ashley? Ah, so we are Ashley, okay. We're the one with the cute panda hat. Cutie. Sure. We're just gonna go with whatever ending we get. So, which will try to be the best. Ooh, we got achievement. Savior. Honestly, I don't really like the idea. Maybe we should just go to the amusement park that opened this week. We can go there right now. It's only 8 p.m. and it's a birthday party after all, not a funeral. It's whatever you decide, Grace. But I think we could take your little brother with us, but we should go to the highway and call Ella first to make sure that she doesn't drive to the empty house. I really miss him. Can he really go? Tears welled up in her eyes. Oh, you care about your brother that much? Everyone gazed at Grace as if asking, what the hell is going on here? My thoughts exactly. Of course they were asking. They didn't know that her brother had been kidnapped by me to make Grace get us all here. Wait, we kidnapped Grace's brother? However, I have changed my mind. I am sick and tired of being controlled. Being a pawn does not suit me. But I love the idea about the house. I bet it would be cool to stay there for a night. Don't you agree, guys? Who wants to go to the amusement park? I know, that seems fun. I mean, if you don't like rides, you can always eat the food. I mean, come on now. Everyone but Martin rose their hands. The end? You saved everyone. Well, almost everyone. There was an accident in the park. Grace fell from great height and crashed to death. Martin was taken away by the ambulance. For some reason, he kept shouting, "It must have been me. She's mine. Mine." Did you really love her so much that he was ready to die instead of her? Is that so? You decide. What? Okay, we got an ending. This has been Halloween Time with Silence in the House. No, let's continue on. Let's get an actual game. Oh my god. That was interesting. So, I imagine we're a villain of sorts. If the fact that... Do you wish to save them, Ashley? No. They aren't worth the chance. So, we're gonna be a dick. This is gonna be interesting, okay. I must stick to the plan. The forest, like a hungry beast with trees for teeth, devoured us in a cold, dead night. Their branches looked like crooked hands. They struggled to rip our faces off, or maybe we just couldn't realize their true intentions. Maybe the trees were torturing themselves, wickedly twisting their branches to set a warning for us that in the end of the path, which was flickering in the beams of our flashlights, the darkness was awaiting. Lloyd looked really nervous. He was haunted by the rustles, and it made him mad. His hand that was clutching a flashlight was swinging like some kind of pendulum with a glowing demonic eye. As the flashlight was only uncovering things lurking in the darkness that it couldn't immediately burn his phantom enemies alive, it scared him even more. I heard a strange sound and raised my head to see that it was just a crow. The beam of light ran through the back feathers and the crow merged with the night. I am the only one who actually knows what the darkness is hiding, but I am still scared. My fears are not that simple, as most people's are. It is not what you feel when your reflection refuses to obey. The illusions in the bathroom mirror can't scare the shit out of me. It is just not enough. What really scares me is that the plan could fail. Their plan to murder everybody. Ha 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 ha. When you follow the untrodden path, you are always on thin ice. I feel like I'm lost in a boundless ocean, searching for a shark to ask if the human flesh is delicious. Do you really want to talk to a shark, Ashley? Probably not. I wonder whether or not I'm still sane. The weak beam of light was sliding along the path full of faded leaves. Then suddenly, something on the ground caught my eye. Shit! Shit! What the heck? It was a dead crow. Maybe the one I had seen earlier. Nobody knows. Its eyes were sparkling in the beam of light. It was staring at me, and that gave me the creeps. It's just a dead bird. I've seen much worse in horror movies. Do you often see dead crows in horror movies? Pretty often, yeah. Why do you ask? We've recently watched a movie, and in the beginning the dudes ran into dead crows in the forest, just before the massacre began. Ha! Ha! Ha ha! I'm sure that's not going to lead to anything. I saw this bird of death only after my life stream was over. My life stream was over? Alright. I have no idea what the fuck a life stream is, but maybe it's a new slang you kids nowadays are saying. I don't know. It reminded me of those days that I was imprisoned in a mental hospital. Oh. Oh. The walls of my ward were my only friends. Sometimes I really wanted to discuss the weather outside with them. Of course, the staff didn't neglect their everyday duties, and the doctors regularly visited me to ask only one question. How are you doing today? Actually, a tape recorder in repeat mode asking, how are you? How are you? Would be just the same. Just like the tape, the therapist wouldn't even change the words or say anything else. Perhaps he already knew how I was, or he didn't care. Anyhow, every time he asked me, my answer was the same. Silence. I only showed the same article torn from the newspaper about my family burned alive in a car accident. That crow reminded me of the very first ink blot on Rorschach test, so the train of memories suddenly started to chase me along the rusty rails imaginarily built under my feet. I knew the exact spot where the rust corroded them, and the train got off the track. People in it started screaming in panic and hitting their heads against the walls. Insanity. That's why I chose to focus on our way. I was afraid to lose the path because I was like a thin tightrope that was saving me from falling into the void where evil spirits were crying my name. You need to calm down, to pull yourself together, Ashley. Yeah, getting a little crazy here. You have to be ready when the game begins. Ooh, the game begins? Ooh. Seems like I buried my head into the sand too deeply, but fortunately, a rough male voice dug me out. Stop fooling around! I've already got goosebumps and we're not in the house yet! What are you afraid of, Powerhouse? I'm pretty sure you're the fastest among us all, and even if we run into a serial killer in the freaking house, you'll be able to run away! That actually reminds me of my cousin with a chainsaw. Right, the killer would carve my enormous body as if I put on a couple of kilos this week. I won't even glance at the cake. Okay. Everyone laughed, but Martin started to comfort his girlfriend by telling her that she had a nice figure. I grinned. She really was a slim girl and just wanted to be in the spotlight as always. But today, nothing will save her. I was looking forward to it. Unexpectedly, I found myself ahead of everybody and didn't even remember how I left them behind. It was as usual as summer rain and as sudden as snow in the beginning of July. I had to be first. I need to see it first. Mysterious forces were guiding me to that place. I was just a fish caught on a hook of curiosity pulling me to the fisherman. Every new location had its own atmosphere. When I was wandering along the halls of the inoperative factory, I felt like I was trapped in the black hole of sorrow. The wet windows of the abandoned hospital were crying with raindrops of various shapes, which constantly changed and drew enormous pictures as if invented by inflamed imagination. Eventually, I saw it. About goddamn time! I guess it was a fatal moment, so I wanted to have a proper look at it. At first, I saw contours behind the dense pine needles. It was like a shadow, but then some significant parts of the building started to make out. We were quite far away from it, but I noticed that just for a moment, the lights on the first floor turned on, and then one more time, just like a lighthouse. Is it the house, or my imagination? If I saw or heard something odd, I would think that I was crazy. And it would be more casual than any other things going on in my life. I can't decide yet whether the house is a friend or an enemy. Of course, its purpose is clear to me, as it always was, regardless to location or building. But despite its purpose, maybe this house decides for itself. I can't explain why, but somehow it is alive. All the places were. They became alive for me, because things just couldn't be so simple when someone like me is involved. Anyway, if I stick to the plan, this house will play nice. Or not. It may be as treacherous as the devil, hiding the delicious candies inside the hungry jaws of doom. The house gazed at me with its lightless windows. They were dark, like the eyes of the blind, but I knew that it watched me very carefully. Out of the blue, a hoarse voice broke down this strange connection between us. Now I knew that I wasn't the only one who was looking at the house, which meant that it saw us all. Wow, this damn thing is huge! Not bad, Grace. How did you find it? Don't fool yourself. You might think it was hard to discover such a place, but the house stands right in the glade. I bet some naughty local children run around the house pretending to be ghost hunters or something. Cut the crap, will you? What's wrong? Everybody knows ghost stories are for children. Am I right, guys? No one said a word. We continued approaching the house in dead silence. I was so deep in my thoughts that I jumped when I suddenly heard the metal clip hit the wooden planks. And then I found myself standing in front of the entry door. Freedom, finally! She dropped off her backpack and stretched herself out on the porch. Tired already? Maybe we should go inside first. Looks like the door is locked. I don't think the ghosts are down to meet us. Go to hell, Morin, and meet the damn ghost yourself. You're a really pain in my ass. You are so sweet, guys. Let me handle this stupid door. Hold on, big boy. Now what? I'm working on it. While these idiots were searching for the way in, I was picking the lock with my own skeleton key. I'm not sure how many doors it's already conquered. It was the same as picking tiger's teeth to see how its digestive works. Something moved. I couldn't say for sure, but it felt like the mouth of the door took a tight grip on the skeleton key with its metal tongue and devoured it. Seriously? I got mad and kicked the damn door. What the hell? What the hell, man? The door was opening so slowly, with a squeaky old like crap sound. However, it resembled the screams of the tortured souls. I just couldn't bear it. Nice job! I approached the door. But I didn't open it. It opened itself. What was going on here? It was very dusty inside the house. Looks like the ghosts aren't very hospitable. Everyone laughed except Lloyd. He gave Kate a significant look. I think everyone knows that you don't believe in such shit. Can you please stop? What's wrong? Darkness is so scary. Am I right, big boy? Come on, I'm just teasing you. It's all in good fun. But it's not like that! So you tell me, what can hide behind the shadow curtains? If it's not a ghost or a phantom, then what is it? It's my fear! It is a freaking mental disorder! The name is nyctophobia. I have no idea what that is, but okay. Make sure that your flashlight is not dead, or you'll be in trouble. Don't even count on mine. Everyone laughed again. There's no need in flashlights anymore. The glowing eye of the full moon illuminated the house pretty well, but when we were outside, it was surely dark. It was very strange. And odd. Those frickin' tricks again. Though, it looks like it wasn't a big deal for anyone except me. Even though candles peeked out from literally every corner of the room. I think everyone thought it was Grace's joke or something. This place aroused my curiosity, and I wanted to explore it a little bit. There were a few pictures hanging on the walls. To be exact, some of them had fallen off and were lying on the floor like dead rats, with twisted paper tails. I saw no mirrors in the room, thank God, but it was only the first floor. Still, I'm glad. Houses are like narrators of people's lives, made to tell the stories of their owners. And this one was choking on dust and death. Ugh. This armchair looked really convincing. It was old and fractured, but I still knew that its appearance was a lie. Even the carpet was old and shabby for every second of its existence. I was aware of those tricks. I knew I had little time. I took the cell phone out of my pocket and looked at the display. I saw that the connection was lost and that it was already 8 p.m. The clock was ticking. Oh, so we're under a time limit. Ella should turn up soon. I hoped she would find the house. At least I drew her a map. While exploring the room with the fireplace, I found boxes full of candles. I smiled wryly. We need them later. And of course there was the book. It is most important item. I just don't know how to do it without some extraordinary stuff. Ooh. Of course, I was no amateur in that kind of cuisine. You could call me the chef of the kitchen, I guess. So I knew it from A to Z. I looked at the others. They were all wearing the same smiling faces, except Lloyd. This poor creature. Poor idiotic creature. He wanted to blow Grace's skirt up, literally. Sadly for him, it's not going to happen. Ever. The way the story is being built, I imagine not. The girls have already prepared their sleeping bags and spread some blankets on the floor. The scary house was slowly turning into some kind of warm, lovely nest. I rushed to conclusions. The strings of fear caught us in its web when we saw a straw doll on the sofa. And any horror 101 nerd knows that dolls are always instantly scary. Her button eyes pierced us through, as if staring at our souls. Somewhere behind the skin there was a hall full of screams which couldn't reach our mouths. The apple of her eye was black, like a rotten dead fruit, and the flickering hellfire of the candles made the scene more satanic. Demonic. Let's go with that. Lloyd nearly shit bricks when he saw this evil thing. The guy made a very strange screaming-like sound. Kate just couldn't miss the joke. She took her cell phone out of the pocket and her fingers started to dance on the phone keypad. Suddenly she began a made-up dialogue, pretending there was something on the other end of the line. Hello? Is this the mother of one wicked straw doll, who I tend to know? Good. Tell your child to stay out of the light, because she is too scary for our little Lloyd. Your girl scared him to death, you know. Go to hell, guys! Enough of this canny shit for one evening! Lloyd rushed to the sofa and grabbed the straw doll. Give me a hand, man! Light it up, Marty! Marty gave his lighter to Lloyd, and this idiot threw the doll into the fireplace with her hair set on fire, but the flame died immediately. The damn witch! Why don't you just perish? You're a real idiot. It's a doll, not a paper shit. You need to light the fireplace first. We can use books or newspapers. Everyone glanced at me in surprise. Well, there are always some books in the house. It's just an ordinary thing. We could search for them. Phew, I almost got caught. Of course I knew the books were here. That seems a little odd. Hey, it's a fireplace. We can use, oh, I don't know, fucking paper material? And they're shocked to realize this? That seemed a little odd. I know everything about this place. There's a playroom on the second floor, kitchen on the ground floor, and 2 bathrooms. I was connected to this house, and I could almost hear squeaking mice gnawing its beating heart behind the walls. But it was only a strange delusion living in my mind. These morons looked in every corner of the house but found nothing, so it was my turn. Here they are. Jeez, they are heavy. Lloyd approached me and took the books. Congratulations, Miss Ashley. I'm appointing you the Master of Doll Inquisition now. Thanks a lot. I faked a clumsy smile that almost turned into disgust. Where are you going? It's time to punish the sinner. Maybe you can deal with this on your own. Don't be a pussy, it's just a joke. You're the justice. Make the evildoer pay. He lent me a lighter. If it were not for the rules, I would beat him hard. Alright. I set fire on one of the pages and threw the book on the pile of other books. They turned to ashes in seconds, but the doll was still in flames. I was watching her face turning black in a bright scarlet flame. Tongues of fire played with the stitches on the doll's face, and for a moment I saw her wicked smile. I heard agonized screams in my head. There was something. A phone. On the other end of the line, tires rubbing against the ground, grinding of metal, bones cracking, front windows smashed to pieces. I felt shards of glass stuck in my neck. They pierced my chest and my heart. Maybe the explosion tore their limbs off. Maybe it was a metaphor fallen from the sky, or they were buried alive by some psycho. It doesn't matter. They are dead. I can't stand it anymore. I've relived this nightmare over 1,000,000 times. I relived the day when it all was wrong. Without knowing it, I touched the tooth, which I was always carrying in my pocket. It was some kind of ritual, but not as useless as most of them. It was more than effective. For a moment, several of my eyes changed to coldness. My fingers released the tooth, and I looked at Lloyd. Satisfied? Yeah, but you're the sinner like everyone else. That's why you should be punished. I'll turn you on the minute I turn off the lights in the bedroom, sweetie. So wait, do you want to get with me or with Grace? Make up your mind, dude. Lloyd didn't give me a chance to evade his lightness kiss. I have almost died of disgust as his tongue touched my cheek like a maggot lurking in the darkness. His lips were as cold as a dead man's. I guess I'll pass. I'd rather confess my sins. I smiled wryly and whipped his icy touch from skin with my sleeve. Actually, there's one thing you're right about. Everyone sins. Lloyd shrugged his shoulders and began unpacking his things. It's present giving time! The girl opened her backpack and took out a book with a colorful ribbon on it. Take it, beautiful. It's for you. Thanks, cutie. I've always wanted to read the biography of Scott Malcolm, one of the greatest guitarists. Lloyd was next. I thought that if you liked the last album, you must check out these. Grace took the CDs and hugged Lloyd. She slapped his butt hard. God damn, these teens are horny as fuck. The keys to the house in Skydort, Lane 65 tinkled with like a ringing bell. That's all you get, big boy. Lloyd was a little embarrassed. I gave her earrings. They were pretty cheap. I bought them on sale. Thanks. Martin left the house. Through the window, I saw him smoking. He didn't even try to take his pack of smokes out of his pocket on the way here. Maybe if he smoked near Kate, she would order him to swallow the cigarettes one by one, lit up. When Martin came back, he took a bracelet from his bag and whispered something. I bought it because it was beautiful and cheap, of course. Plus the Japanese hieroglyphics, which means happiness and money, so maybe it'll work for you. Nice! It's a real cool thingy. All of a sudden, Martin put the bracelet on Grace. It cuffed her wrist with a loud click. Now it was time to eat the cake, but Ella was still on her way, so everyone felt depressed. Someone suggested playing cards, and everyone agreed. In fact, I didn't know who it was because my mind was focused on other kinds of issues. I had more important things to do. I approached the book that was lying on the mantelpiece and took it. No one noticed the book except me. It was out of human sight. Even I did not see it. I only felt it at first. When I opened the book, I looked at the strange symbols that didn't make any sense until I touched the tooth in my pocket. I understood. I understood everything. While consuming the symbols, I almost tore some of the pages off. Finally, thousands of letters and words formed the phrase. L'amour offert. Well done, Ashley. This phrase was like a good old friend to me. I lost count of how many times this phrase came up in my mind, and still I couldn't remember its true self, full of inconceivable power. If I just spoke the mysterious words without the book, nothing at all would happen. L'amour offert. I took my phone out of the pocket and looked at the display. It was 10 p.m. already. Damn, time flies fast. The time passed quickly and the game was about to begin. Would it be a fair one? This question was always torturing me. Can't say if I'm doing the right thing or not. I always doubt. Some part of me knows the answer, but I don't know which part it is. While I was reading the book, the others continued playing cards. Both Lloyd and Martin called me to join them a couple of times, but I always refused. They didn't ask why. I think they were just playing their own game with me. I finished reading the book, so it's time to make my turn. I need to come up with something and fast to hurry things up. I can't just leave this to Grace. Even the fact that I am allegedly holding her brother hostage doesn't mean I can fully trust her. And suddenly luck smiled at me. I saw Lloyd cheating at cards. The trick was simple. He filled his hand with trumps. Something like flash right there. A little weird. I just needed to prove it, so I waited for the right moment. I can see things. I see. I bet you have a trump, ace, and jack. Stop being ridiculous! I don't believe you're a psychic or anything. The rumors at school, they're all bullshit. People think I'm a psychic? That's a little weird. I came right to him and looked into his eyes. I was looking at him with a sadistic smile, like he was a bug that I was going to squash. Show us your cards. Lloyd looked pathetic. His pompous jack was trembling all over. Actually, it was pretty fun. Or was it? Or it wasn't. Suddenly I realized that my decisions and actions started confusing me more and more. In the beginning, I was completely sure that I was absolutely right. It was like using a manual that was telling me how to win lotteries with a 100% chance, but screw this shit. For me, it was as usual as breakfast in the morning. Of course, I wanted to return to that factory and repeat the whole thing one more time, but not as much as I wanted it a month ago. When I was almost maniacally laughing, looking at the woman who was trying not to fall, clutching the elevating cabin of the roller coaster. What? Just show them! Martin hit Lloyd's hands and the trumps fell on the floor. You asshole! Give me my $20 back! It wasn't me! She set the whole thing up! Are you kidding me? I was miles away from you. You couldn't know, you just looked at my cards! You knew that I had these trumps. I wasn't cheating. Prove that you're psychic. I can't prove I'm psychic, but we just proved that you're cheating, you dumbass. God, how dumb are you, boy? Looks like Lloyd was going mad. Obviously, I pretended that his words hurt me. Shit, it was so hard not to gloat. He was going straight into my trap, you idiot. My feelings turned into some strange mix, and it was difficult for me to understand what I actually felt. Maybe I froze for a moment. That's why Lloyd yelled one more time. If I continue to lose the connection to reality like this, they'll definitely think that I'm crazy. Come on, Ashley, keep it together. I touched the tooth like it was giving me some strength and smiled wickedly. Prove it! It's not as easy as you think. Yeah, you're right. I could get a peek at your cards, but I didn't. What number from 1 to 1,000 am I thinking of? Jeez, it seems like this guy really believed in my abilities, which, by the way, leave much to be desired. For now, at least. That's not interesting at all. It must be something more difficult. What color is Kate's underwear? Everyone ignored this question, obviously. Summon the spirits. I heard lots of psychics can talk to them. Yeah, that'll be cool. Geez, you're like Ella. I agree, that'd be cool. Guess it's not a very good idea. I'll prepare everything. It was really difficult not to laugh. They were so ridiculously naive. It was so funny to see them like this, but there was something more. The mystery of the whole thing inspired me in some way. Playing with fire always intrigued me. I knew something inexplicable, exciting, and terrifying at the same time was about to happen. Can it happen soon? This is kind of taking a long time just to build up. Knowing this raised my spirits even more so that it wasn't my fault. They themselves asked me to do it. Nobody forced them. It would probably be better to do everything wrong to end this madness once and for all, but not today. This fool inspired me. He made me sink into a slough full of rotten memories. I felt like I had fallen to the bottom of a huge can filled with maggots. They were crawling into my ears, and I heard them twitching inside, heard their whisperings of death. Ah, has the Queen of Maggots been talking to you? Perhaps Lloyd will be the first. Yeah, get him out of the picture. This moment of uncertainty has always turned my curiosity into a hungry beast, waiting for the meat in its bloody bowl, given to it by the hand of fate. I dusted off the old handkerchief that was lying on the floor and began placing candles on it, very carefully, like a caring mother who is taking her precious children from kindergarten. 13 little children, short and tall, plump and thin, but all hungry. They were asleep in my handmade cradle, which swung as I carried it to the ritual room. God. I called this room by that name the moment we entered the house. It was kind of sad that I couldn't examine it properly because of the pile of memories and thoughts that followed me to the main door. It was pretty dusty in here. It is obvious that the house like this had seen its best days, and now it was old, abandoned, and forgotten. In some corners of the hall I could see the spider webs. Gross. I really wanted my working place to be just a bit cleaner. Before I started my preparations, I knocked on the wall and the broom fell into my hands. Suddenly, I felt very angry. What the heck? It would be a lot easier for her to do this. I threw the broom to the wall, but it vanished before I reached the obstacle. The floor became much cleaner. That's how it's done. Okay, what was up? She got the broom, blamed somebody else, and then it got cleaned? What? Okay. I took out a piece of chalk. This is my main tool for tonight. Of course, I didn't like crawling on the floor, but it was usually done this way. I liked using the wall in the asylum much more than the traditional way. I tried some new things back there, but unfortunately everything ended badly. At least I stayed alive. In fact, I didn't use the chalk too much. There were no tangled symbols. It was just a huge circle in the center of the room, and of course, the star. It just wouldn't work without it. I didn't think it had any real power. I mean, you could see it almost everywhere on a new album of a rock band, for example, but it looks like it is worth something. The candles were next, which is my favorite part. Last time, when the drawing was on the wall, it was fascinating to put matches into the cracks, but I think it really mattered and eventually everything was almost ruined. So I'd rather use candles this time. But first, I had to draw circles in the center of each star between thick, white lines. Carefully, smoothly, and only one of them I scratched out, making a terrible sound with the chalk with some kind of a claw. Finally, the picture was done. Put every candle on its exact spot, as if arranging chess pieces on the board. Pawns went first, as I called them. They embodied every person in the house, and only one piece could become the queen. No, I already was the queen, but I had to fake my unimportance as to not cause any suspicion. The fattest candle was meant for Kate, as she was obsessed with her figure. Mine was slim and beautiful, of course, but I had to break it into two pieces following the rules. Then they were put in the center of the star. Now it was time for the main players to join the game. It's interesting of a dialogue for the candles. I mean, why not insert information about the other two? Like what? Just saying the description of the candles for only two out of the 5 characters is odd. I mean, kind of pointless, honestly. Since I didn't know whether they were bishops, rooks, or knights, I couldn't think of the right position for them. So I just put the pieces in front of the ones that were already in the star. Every candle meant for the main player was placed carefully, so the candles embodying the people in the house were their reflections, though somehow twisted, as I just couldn't find one that as fat and ugly as the Kate's candle. Everything was done, but there was still one candle left. I knew it was significant, but I had no idea who it was meant for. When I was in the asylum, I put a significant chess piece near the wrong pawn and we got into big trouble. I looked at Lloyd's candle. I hope my intuition is correct. That asshole, most likely it's him. Suddenly candles lit up the room. What the hell is going on here? No, just my imagination. It was the headlights. Lloyd came into the room and whistled. Well, well, you're totally out of your mind. You think the drawing of that freaking pentagram that's always on the cover of horror movies will do the trick? Martin entered the room next. Kate followed him. Yeah, nice room. The scary skull is the only thing missing. Wow, it's so cool. I'm flattered. The door half opened and Ella entered the house. Before she joined us, she was walking around the room where we had thrown our backpacks. Will anybody help me bring my things from the car? Ella peeked in the room, saw the huge chalk drawing, and got excited. Wow! Ella came closer to my creation with caution, as if she was scared that the floor would break under her hard steps, even though she was light as a feather. Is it what I think it is? We're going to speak with the dead. Are you in? Of course! I've always wanted to try this. That's just incredible. Like, it looks like I'm just on time. Is everything ready? Yeah, actually. If everyone's ready, we can start right now. Maybe we should eat first. Hanging out with the dead is scary as shit, and moreover, I'm hungry. Oh, so you believe in ghosts? I don't. I just suggest eating the tasty cake that Ella brought us. Good! Well, he's probably right. I don't want to eat it, watching his corpse rot on the floor. Alright, let's have our cake and eat it. When Martin and Lloyd brought a large cake into the house, each of us took a piece. Of course, the biggest one went to Lloyd, and I got the smallest. He was consuming it like it was his last meal. I knew he was nervous. So nervous. It was hard not to grin. Grace tripped over someone's bag, and her piece of cake almost plopped down to the floor. I guess if it had happened, it would have looked like a human brain, juicy with blood. Martin managed to grab the cake with his plate. You look really pale. Is everything okay? Yeah, I just feel dizzy, that's all. Alright then. Martin smiled nicely. But I guess his girlfriend didn't like it at all. What's that on your face? A grin? You asshole! Want to screw her that badly? No, sweetie, it's not what you're thinking. Yeah, this butt is mine, right, baby? Grease painted Lloyd's face with a cake and went to the ritual room. This makes it hard not to chuckle. Finally, everyone took their places. Grace sat closer to Martin with Cake on the other side of him. Lloyd sat near me. Even knowing what fun was coming next, his gaze made me feel sick, as though his eyes were taking my clothes off. Gosh, he is a pervert. Yeah, these guys are like sex-craved fuckers, Jesus Christ. Like, it's a little cringy how sex-crazed these guys are. I wonder, is there any limit to his blasphemy? Pierce a finger with something sharp and drip some blood on the candle. My words sounded ominous and terrifying. Are you kidding me? That's bullshit! Is it really necessary? Alright, just give me a second. Lloyd's voice is killing the throat, so need a little drink. I clenched my hand into fists. It is. Okay, if nothing happens, you will spill blood for a week. Like, tiny drops or what, dude? Like, how much are we talking about here? Kate chuckled. Okay. I pretended to be scared, but was not sure if he bought it. However, he smiled at me unconfidently. Suddenly, I really wanted to shout out, "You will die, fools! You and you, all of you!" But I stopped myself otherwise. They'll understand that I am involved in this, and it'll become 1,000 times harder to do my job. Yeah, just think of the end goal. Whatever that end goal is. Muttering some curses, Lloyd, however, pierced his fingers with a needle and touched the candle. Martin was next. He touched the candle too, and the scarlet blood drops went down. Ella was really nervous and excited. I feared that the girl could have a heart attack because of all this. Ella pierced her finger so hard that the blood spilled on different directions. When all the candles devoured the souls of the mortals, I continued commanding the army of the doomed. Martin, just like my actual assistant, was giving his lighter to others one by one to light up the candles. Why aren't all the candles lit up? I shushed at her. Shut up, ho! The last thing I wanted to hear is her comments, and at such a critical moment. Close your eyes. We could see that Lloyd's eyes were half opened. So the dead can't take them away. Lloyd immediately closed both of his eyes. Like a little bitch. The only thing we heard was the whispering of the candle flame. Iam was afera. The wind howled outside. Iam was afera. Suddenly, all the lit-up candles went out, and shivering flame was devoured by the darkness. The ones that were sleeping woke up and showed extended their fire tongues. The same happened to the candles in the center. Then, a mysterious female voice whispered and disappeared. Wow! So cool! Was that the dead? And what else could it be? Nothing happened. It's just a trick with a voice. And you made the candles lit up and then blew them out. I saw everything. I knew that he couldn't see that. You're a liar. You're a liar. Don't come any closer to me. Alright, let's calm down, guys. Lloyd wanted to rush at me, but now stopped. Seems like he was a little afraid of Martin. Did this guy just step in between? Have I misjudged him? I heard the voice too, and I'm sure that it wasn't Ashley. It was a sound from tape recorder. I heard something. There was some noise. Is he right, Ashley? I looked down at the floor and gave the cell phone to Martin. That's right. He pressed the play button. The recording, Afera! And then some noise, just like he said, her real voice. Nice performance. You almost managed to make me believe in that bullshit. The trick with candles is cool though, but I remember the harsh flash of the flames. You didn't light up the candles one by one, you lit them all at once. Are you kidding? But you figured it all out. Yeah. We'll talk about it later. Now I need to smoke. Again. Can't get enough of those cigarettes. Hell yeah, Camel Crush, baby. He came up to his bag, took the pack of smokes, and went out. Through the window I saw him, staying near the car. He was blowing the cigarette smoke to the night sky. We haven't finished yet! Lloyd went out into the room, and I heard the chewing-like sound. The sky began greedily consuming what's left of the cake. I snuck up behind him and quickly sat on the old chair, making it terrifyingly creak. Lloyd was choking on the cake, and a piece of it dropped from his hands. He looked around. He was scared to death until he saw me. His fear immediately turned into wrath. I'm going to frickin' kill you! I guess that, for him, I was a player from the opposite rugby team, and he was going to take away the ball from my hands, so he jumped at the chair that I was sitting on. Fortunately, I quickly dodged the attack. The literally ancient chair somehow stood against his massive body and didn't break. Lloyd then fell onto the floor. Martin returned to the house with a cigarette still in his mouth. Looks like something urgent. He was searching for something with his eyes. He definitely didn't come back because of the noise. However, he looked pretty calm, like always. Martin took out his cigarette with his fingers, threw it to the ground, and stomped it out. He pointed to the ceiling. There. I saw something in the window on the second floor. Yay, the ghosts! With the cries of joy, Ella ran up the stairs. Lloyd noticeably turned pale. Interesting. Everyone rushed after the girl with the ponytails. The shade slid along the massive window, touching Ella's car in the yard. Its headlights were still on. The girl didn't even bother to turn them off. Seems like this mysterious house excited her so much that she forgot about such a simple thing. The car was staring in front of it and didn't care about what was going to happen within the walls of this house. I also noticed that the first floor windows were high enough to break the neck and a couple of ribs if you fell out. Probably not going to happen to anybody in any shape, way, or form, I imagine. We went even higher up the stairs to the second floor. There was something on the wall, a message for us. Bloody letters said, "Let's play. Silence the house!" Oh, maybe the ghost who you saw through the window did that, Martin. Are you kidding me? Ghosts didn't have a physical form. They can't write on the walls with blood. That's some Hollywood bullshit. I think so too. It must be stupid kids. But when we were here searching for something to light the fireplace, the message wasn't there. That means the pranksters are still here. Of course I knew it was just a trick, comparing with what was going to happen after it. The bloody line, like a silent guide, led us to a room out without any doors. The funny wallpaper told me that it was a child's room. We entered the nursery. I'm not sure I remember this room. Because you didn't come to this floor, but both Lloyd and I did. Thank God. This shit gives me the creeps. She pointed at the unusual toy mouse with slender long legs. Oh, that toy mouse? Okay. The thing was sitting on a chair looking through the window with its shiny eye beads. This room looks like someone lives here. It's just sick! So cool! I thought so too, but that's bullshit. This is so intriguing. Oh, I have an idea. Wait a sec. She rushed down the stairs. There was a complete silence for a moment. Then we heard the approaching sound of stopping footsteps. Let's try this, shall we? Ella gave me an infamous Ouija board. She was prepared for this quite well. Seems like I shouldn't have worried about the ritual after all. She made me do that under the gun anyway. You live only once, right? Are you out of your mind? I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm interested. I guess now, or only for this precise moment, when we sat down in the center of the strange child's room, everyone believed in ghosts. Even Kate, though, of course, she would never admit it. If a phantom hand of a baby touched my skin now, I'd flinch. Obviously, I'm afraid of ghosts because I know what they are capable of when they're not in the mood. In the room, there were not many toys, but still. The room must be abandoned. Hey, you hear me? Abandoned. God damn it. There was a little bed and a teddy bear on it near the wall. Why did she make that exclamation saying it was abandoned? Some of this dialogue is a little odd and weird. A dollhouse was standing on the floor with a small zoo near it, and a faded pillow was left nearby. By the opposite wall, there was a little nightstand with a child's makeup and a mirror above. I hate mirrors. If you take a cozy sit on the chair at the table for a tea party, you'll be able to see the forest landscape. Let's begin. I touched the planchette and started moving it around the board. Everyone grabbed it too, and I suddenly felt like we were going to touch someone's gravestone right now. What's your name? Our hands moved slowly. We heard a quite eerie creaking sound. M A R. Ah, Mary. Bloody Mary. Mary. How did you die? Everyone gave him a judgmental look, but the planchette started moving. D. Alright. Dad. D-A-D-D. Daddy. Daddy! Daddy did it. Daddy? Was it his fault? I don't like this. What am I thinking about? That's 2 questions. Ha 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 ha! That's funny. That's what he's thinking about. Sex. Shit, that's not funny, asshole. I'm a shit bricks. Lloyd burst out laughing. Did you really think there was someone? That was me who wrote the message on the wall with the blood paint. I bought it in a joke shop, just like the lamp with the silhouette that you saw in the window. I think it's called the Magic Lantern. I thought it would be 2 separate tricks, but I got a really great combo. What a trickster. But how did you manage to fool us if you were here all the time? I set the lamp and went down after Martin. I knew he would want to smoke, so he would see the light in the window. Well, you planned it really well. Cool show. I'm sure you're sick of getting annoyed with these fearful ghost stories. Lloyd nodded. Ghosts do not exist, and if you meet one, tell him I said, hello. Like Adele does? Hello. It's me. He took the board from Ella's hands and threw it to the old chest with toys which fell on its side. One by one, the blocks ominously and slowly rolled out from the darkness of the chest. They turned and span with their sharp and cold blinking corners until the letters formed a word. Hello. It's me. Fear approached on everyone's faces. Lloyd couldn't say a word. This fool was scared to death. What is happening? Why have you wasted such a good trick? You should have done this hello thing first and then confess. The word hello wickedly flashed under the moonlight once more. That wasn't me. His eyes showed the genuine fear. Everyone believed him. Lloyd, of course, is stupid, but he is not a complete fool. He wouldn't try another trick after he cracked. This harmless greeting turned into something that made the blood run cold. Everyone was staring at these letters as if they were the eyes of a killer that has a gun to their heads. Now their veins weren't filled with blood, but with the freezing ice. The sharp and cold knife of truth was about to cut their world into pieces, and they would step into the new reality of madness. No one wanted to believe in it, but there was no doubt about it. No one wanted to see it, but they couldn't look away. The cold wind touched their skin, squeezing their organs and making the cry burst from their throats. The cubes started twitching. Suddenly, they rose into the air and floated like someone hanging to them by the strings. Oh, hello. A girl appeared before us. She was no more than 6 years old. Her light dress was like a leaf in the wind. The fear ripped out of the souls from our bodies. The girl was staring at us. No. She was staring at Kate. She was on the edge. She couldn't even scream. The fear locked her scream inside her as a silent guard and didn't let it go. Her face was a mess. It seemed as if she could shout. All of her organs would be spitted out. The girl touched her lips with her fingers and smiled. But then her dress began burning and she screamed. Her little hands were peeling the skin off her face. Small pieces of human leather was lighting up. Hello. The carpet was buried under the flesh, and then the girl disappeared. Somehow we got back to our world. Even I was scared, but not because I'm afraid of ghosts. The scene reminded me about the car accident long ago, and it appeared to me that she was just mocking me. Everyone but Kate rushed down the stairs. She was standing with her eyes closed and repeating something as if it was a spell. No. How could it be you? You're dead! Dead! You! What are you talking about? Run! Martin grabbed her hand and together they ran down the stairs, with Martin's name still on top. We need to get out of here! Grace and the rest of us just started packing up in haste. They only took some things that were close. We must get to the car! Well, I've warned you there could be consequences. Freaking consequences? You're a crazy bitch! You almost killed us all in that room! Be careful! The girl appeared behind Lloyd and she was wearing the same dress as before she was burned alive. I'm pretty sure this girl died during the fire. I mean, Kate couldn't kill her with a flamethrower, right? Kate came to her senses. Looks like she realized how terrifying the situation was and wanted to run away as fast as she could. She rushed to the door, clutching her fashionable purse. I thought she had everything under control, but what if Kate runs away? I can't let that happen. Do I trust her? We're gonna save. Because I imagine this is an option. Save. Okay, there we go. Back. Do I trust her? Since our job is to seem to kill everybody, let's just say no. Make sure we do it. I grabbed Kate's hand. You aren't going anywhere. Let me go, you freak! Ah, blind faith. She merely took nail scissors out of her purse and pierced my eyes. Oh my god. I shouted out in pain and clutched her sleeve tightly, as if I wanted to tear it off. I tried to take the scissors out, but this bitch stabbed through my hand, and my other eye was damaged. I screamed in pain. My eyes can be restored if I have. Will I have? The first soul had left the house, and I heard the sound of someone starting an engine. Help! Help me! Go to hell, you freak! They're gone. But she will help me, won't she? I just need to draw the defense symbols. I started to crawl around the floor, searching for a piece of chalk. Blood was dripping down out of my empty sockets. My eyes were like bloody waterfalls. God, how painful. Where is it? Damn! Here you are. It was a childish voice. Oh, wrong voice then. I took the chalk and tried to scratch the floor with it. It was no use. I could see what my hand was doing. It was not the chalk, the thing I clutched my fingers. I touched the girl's nail and heard the laugh. The devil was laughing. She was laughing. But you can't... No! No! Come to me, Ashley. A child's arms hugged me. I didn't get their souls, but at least you will be with mine. Alright, so we have to trust, Kate. You have lost your eyes, your allies, your mind, and even your soul. You won't go to heaven. You are not welcome there. And hell doesn't need you either because your soul is missing. But don't worry, you still exist somewhere. In the very darkness of silence, in the brightest world of pain. In her. Alright, let's load that back up. Load. Thank you. Do I trust her? Yes, trust you. You'll be fine. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything will be fine. Oh! She means she's trusting her, the ghost, I guess. Not Kate. Okay, I was confused. I just need to trust her. If I start doubting her, then I won't be sure if anything at all. Finally, Kate got to the car. She began pulling the handle, and her body shivered in fear, but the door wouldn't budge. Ella, throw me the keys! Ella threw the keys, and they flew in Kate's direction, but the girl didn't catch them. They fell into the thick grass. The girl was feverishly searching the ground for salvation. Her face looked like as though she was digging into someone's innards with blood gushing from them. Her eyes were full of fear. Kate couldn't find the keys. They just disappeared. The girl pulled the handle hard once more, hoping that her guardian angel would open the door. Maybe she was too scared to run. But where could she hide from this living nightmare? The child's room with greetings from hell or to the darkness forest? No place safe. The dead girl in the dress was at the porch, staring at Kate. Suddenly, she raised her hand like a maestro of death, and Kate screamed.